Yes.
Ma'am, yesterday we read about the electrochemical theory of corrosion.
Huh?
Ma'am, I have a doubt, ma'am. Uh,
We'll see one by one. I am coming. When
okay,
I come to electrochemical theory, that time you can ask. Okay.
okay, ma'am. Okay,
I'll come. I'll glance whatever we have done in the yesterday's class. I will glance at once. So any doubt is there, that time you can ask. Okay. So yesterday we started the corrosion chapter. What we discussed is how corrosion occurs. What is the definition for corrosion? Corrosion is nothing but it is a distraction to the metal surface by the different environmental conditions in the presence of oxygen or in the absence of oxygen or in the wet environment or in the dry environmental condition. Whatever may be the condition, if the surface is destruction takes place, that type of phenomenon, the process is called as corrosion. Usually, these alloys are the definition. What is the standard definition we'll give for corrosion? It is defined as the destruction of metal or alloys by the surrounding environment through chemical or electrochemical reactions. Through chemical or electrochemical reactions. Usually, redox reactions are taking place simultaneously, both oxidation and reduction. Usually, it takes place, but apart from that, any type of chemical reactions, because of chemical reactions, if it is taking place corrosion, and this corrosion happens only because of the electrochemical reactions and chemical reactions. So this is the standard definition for corrosion. So this corrosion causes because of the different environmental condition. This was explained by two different causes, that is dry corrosion and wet or electrochemical corrosion. What is dry corrosion? In the absence of moisture, if the corrosion occurs, then we call that process as a dry corrosion. If it is the presence of conducting medium, if in the presence of conducting medium or in the liquid medium, in the presence of moisture, especially conducting medium, the corrosion occurs, then the process is called as, that phenomenon is called as wet or electrochemical corrosion. So here in the dry corrosion, it involves a direct attack of chemicals on the metal surface, whereas it involves the formation of chemical cells. It is a rapid process. And corrosion occurs. Corrosion produces products are produced at the site of corrosion, whereas corrosion occurs at anode, but rust is deposited at the cathode. So this is the main difference between the dry corrosion and wet corrosion. In dry corrosion, whatever the corrosion products are produced, it is a site of corrosion, means it is happens only at that particular site. But here, corrosion occurs at the anode in the wet, but whatever the rust product, the products are deposited on the cathode. It get deposits on the cathode in the wet or electrochemical corrosion. Example for dry corrosion, we can give formation of silver chloride on silver metal. And for wet or electrochemical corrosion, we will give an example of rusting of iron. So when this explains how dry corrosion, there is no theory, but in a wet or electrochemical corrosion is explained by a theory which is called as electrochemical theory. In electrochemical theory, what it explains? Electrochemical theory explains as, our slide is moving.
No, ma'am.
No, no,
No, ma'am.
no, ma'am.
got hanged. Second one. What happened? So now ask me, what is your doubt, Pushkar?
Yes, ma'am.
By the time it opens, I'll clear. Tell me.
Ma'am, yesterday we read in the uh, electrochemical theory that when the iron is exposed to the corrosive environment, some changes occur in that.
Hmm.
Ma'am, I want to know that the metal iron is kept in the open air or in some solution for getting corrosion.
See, that is what it explained here, dry corrosion and wet corrosion. But electrochemical theory, when we are explaining,
Yes, ma'am.
electrochemical theory explained by the wet corrosion. That means it is present in the presence of conducting medium. Iron is exposed to the conducting medium in a different conditions. Understood?
Okay,
So
ma'am.
electrochemical theory is a theory which explains only the wet corrosion, not the dry corrosion. Okay. So dry corrosion is nothing but in the absence of moisture, there is no conducting medium in the dry corrosion. So electrochemical theory, it will not come into picture in the present is for dry corrosion. Electrochemical theory is the theory only it explains to the wet corrosion, that only in the presence of conducting medium, not in the openly it is not exposed to the atmosphere. Clear?
Okay, ma'am.
So we will see that openly atmosphere means whether the moisture, again it depends. If you are exposing openly the iron metal in the open air, whether the moisture is present or not, that also becomes a conducting medium. Absorption or oxygen is present, right? So
Yes.
everything depends, everything comes into wet corrosion itself. Dry corrosion, when it will come only in the vacuum condition, in the absence of moisture, in the absence of oxygen, at the dry environment, there should not be any conducting medium. At that case also, that is a dry corrosion. But whether we are exposing to the open air or immersing in a conducting medium or any solutions are used or any chemical liquids are used for the corrosion, but it should conduct a conducting medium, then only corrosion occurs. This was explained by electrochemical theory. Understood? So what is electrochemical theory? Electrochemical theory is an example. Is that clear, Pushkar?
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Okay, the electrochemical theory is the corrosion. This theory explains us. Only we will take iron as an example because iron is the well-known metal for everyone. If we explain by taking example of iron, it will be easy to understand. It doesn't mean that electrochemical theory only for the iron metal. You can take any other metal, any metal, which explains this theory explains that how corrosion occurs in the wet environment. Understood? So what this theory explains is, this theory explains as metal, when a metal such an iron is exposed to corrosive environment, iron is exposed to corrosive environment, following changes occur. See here only the sentence explains that when a metal such as iron is exposed, when a metal such as iron is just an example we are taking, not the what is that, not any other metal. In place of iron, we can take any other metal. When it is exposed to corrosive environment, the following changes occurs. What are the following changes occurs? First, it forms a galvanic cell. How it forms a galvanic cell? A galvanic cell, to form a galvanic cell, we need one cathode and we need one anode, right? We need one cathode, we need one anode. So this anode and cathode, how the anodic reactions takes place, how cathodic reaction takes place, we'll see. See, this is the iron metal. Why I am repeating because yesterday also we discussed the same. This is very important for the exam. They will ask for 6 and 8 marks this question particularly. That's why I'm repeating and I'm stressing on this point, this theory. So here you can see whatever the Fe2 plus, and can you see Fe2 plus ions from the metal and OH minus ions from the conducting medium. So this is the iron metal. It has one anodic region and a cathodic region. From the anodic region, consider there is the iron metal divided halfly. Half portion acts as an anode, another half portion of the metal acts as a cathode. What type of reaction takes place here? The electrons in the anode, because since we have taken iron as a metal, this iron undergoes oxidation to give Fe2 plus, to give what? Fe2 plus ions. This Fe2 plus ions formed in the anode region. Remember that corrosion occurs only at the anode. Whatever the products formed in this anode region, that products are get deposited on the cathode surface. So rate of corrosion increases only in the anode region. Understood? Because anode undergoes oxidation to give ions. These ions, this Fe2 plus ions, move towards the cathode with the help of a conductant. This is the conducting medium. So this conducting medium, with the help of this conducting medium, it depends on what type of conducting medium we are selecting. There are two types of conducting mediums to release OH minus ions. What are those two types of conducting mediums? One is in the cathode, we have liberation of hydrogen one condition and absorption of oxygen is another other condition. In the first condition of liberation of hydrogen, what happens here? When from the acidic medium, see here we are taking what is the medium? Conducting medium. Medium is acidic. Acidic means what ions it contains? It contains H plus ions. It contains what? H plus ions because they are acidic solutions. The medium is acidic. So from this H plus ions, when liberates or gains electron to give H2 minus, to give H2 hydrogen is liberated. This is the in acidic condition. If you take acidic medium, so what happens this hydrogen when in a same, if you change the medium to a neutral or alkaline medium, what happens to the reaction in a neutral or alkaline medium? In presence of this, what happens in water react with electrons to give OH minus, this is minus is here, OH minus ions with the liberation of hydrogen. Both in acidic medium, both neutral and alkaline medium, hydrogen liberation takes place. This is one condition in the absence of what? In the absence of oxygen. Say suppose in the presence of oxygen, what happens? In the presence of oxygen, if you take the same acidic medium, it liberates water. So here what it liberates? It liberates hydrogen. Here it liberates water, that is moisture. In the neutral or alkaline condition, in the presence of oxygen, see here also in the presence of oxygen, here also in presence of oxygen, but here there is no oxygen. Here in the neutral, if you change the medium to neutral and alkaline medium, oxygen absorption takes place to give OH minus ions. These OH minus ions react with Fe2 plus ions from the previous anode reaction to give ferrous hydroxide. So this ferrous hydroxide, you can see here, this ferrous hydroxide formed by the reaction, this ferrous hydroxide again react with in the presence of oxygen, in the presence of oxygen and in the presence of water, it gives Fe2O3 3H2. The name of this product is rust, which is called as hydrated ferric oxide. This is how the cell, galvanic cell is formed through cathodic reactions and anodic reaction. And also the rust will form, which is nothing but hydrated ferric oxide. So this hydrated ferric oxide, if you limit the supply of oxygen, at the limit supply of oxygen, it gives yellow color rust. Usually the rest of the color of the rust is reddish brown. But if you limit the addition, if you limit the process, if you limit this oxygen, if you limit the supply of oxygen, it gives yellow color. It gives yellow color rust product. Here it is red color, whereas here it is yellow color. So this FeOH twice, and this is the another reaction based on the half molecule, based on the oxygen available, the color of the rust is depends. There are three colors. One is red color, yellow color, and black color. Usually, you can write only one product naming Fe2O3 3H2O in the exam. Not required. If you can remember, you can write other two products. If you don't remember, you write only one reactant up to here Fe2O3 3H2O. If you write, that is more than sufficient for the exam. Understood? Still any doubt in the electrochemical theory? Any doubt? Can I move to the next topic? Shall I go to the next topic?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
No
ma'am.
doubt here in the electrochemical theory. Understood?
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone else from the fine. So next we'll go to the next topic, that is factors affecting the rate of corrosion. So here I have given so many points for example to study what are the different factors, how it affects the corrosion. The main factor is first is nature of corrosion. Nature of corrosion. To the nature of corrosion, this nature the first point is nature of corrosion. This nature of corrosion, what are the different factors affect to increase or decrease this nature? That is, the nature of corrosion product. Nature of corrosion product depends on the soluble, insoluble or soluble, highly stable or unstable, highly non-porous or porous, highly non-conducting or conducting, and stoichiometric or non-stoichiometric. Stoichiometric or non-stoichiometric. In all these factors, the rate of corrosion increases. The rate of corrosion increases. What it means? It means the corrosion product. What is the corrosion product? It is the rust, right? So the rust is the product. It depends on what type of conducting medium we are taking. If you are taking highly insoluble or soluble conducting medium, like any acidic solutions or alkaline solutions, it should be soluble or insoluble. In that case also, the product is, the rust is, the rate of corrosion increases. As if it contains a stable metal ionic solution or unstable metal ionic solution, like stable. See here I have given some examples. For example, aluminium, chromium, titanium develop such layer on their surface and become passive to the corrosion. So passive to the corrosion is what? I'll come to this, how it will protect. So here the stable metal ions are different types of stable ions or unstable ions are present in the conducting medium. Whatever may be the type of the ions present in conducting medium, in that type also the rate of corrosion increases. If the medium or a separator or electrodes are porous in nature or non-porous in nature, in that case also rate of corrosion increases. If it is the medium is conducting or non-conducting, in that case also the corrosion product, it gives high increased rate of corrosion. If it is a stoichiometric product, if we are taking stoichiometric conducting medium or non-stoichiometric conducting medium, then also the rate of corrosion increase. For example, see why I have taken this example here. This is the aluminium, right? This is aluminium. We know aluminium liberates ions more, right? So aluminium is a very good anodic in surface. It is readily available or readily liberates the ions. It readily liberates the ions. So it is very active metal. We can say very actively involved in the liberation of ions, right? If you want to make this aluminium to stop producing the ions, then we have to convert in the form of other ions, which is nothing but aluminium oxide. So this aluminium oxide, which develops this, once it converts this aluminium to aluminium oxide, what happens? This aluminium oxide is the product. This aluminium oxide is the product. This product, because it forms, because of its nature of the metal ion, what we have taken. So this nature of the metal ion is readily liberating the ions. Since the rate of corrosion increases, the whatever the product formed is aluminium oxide. So when it develops a layer, when this product develops a layer on the surface of this metal, can you see a blue color one layer on the surface of a metal, this aluminium, on a gray color metal? That layer, once it develops, that is, the layer is nothing but the nature of the product. This aluminium oxide is the product. The product is the rust product formed from the metal itself. But this, once it forms a metal oxide, this metal oxide, it protects the base metal. It protects base metal. Base metal it protects means the product of the same metal itself protecting the surface of a metal. Hence, it becomes a passive corrosion. Because it is a passive corrosion means once after forming the product, if it is protecting to the layer, then it is, we call this as passive to the corrosion, means if the rate of corrosion decreases. In case of iron, if you take, this is a iron piece. Here you can see iron piece here in the red color, gray color one iron is here. This iron and the right hand side corner iron, I have mentioned here iron. If you take oxide layer, what is the iron rust? Rust of the iron is nothing but Fe2O3, which is the product. The rust of iron is Fe2 hydrated metal oxide. Excuse me, hydrated ferric oxide. This hydrated ferric oxide is the product. This product to the iron. From where do we get this product? From the iron after corrosion. Iron after keeping some time, iron will get corrode, and that corrosion product is nothing but iron oxide, that is ferric oxide. So this oxide layer formed on the metal. What is the oxide layer? That is Fe2O3 metal ion formed on the metal like zinc, iron and magnesium etc. increases the rate of corrosion. In case of aluminium, it is protecting. It is further corrosion. It will stop in case of aluminium. But in because it is iron oxide, it will not protect the base metal. It will, the product whatever it forms, it increases the rate of corrosion because it is not a protecting oxide layer on the surface of a iron metal. So the nature of the corrosion product depends on how the rate of corrosion increases or decreases. So what type of product it is forming, whether it is a protective product or not protecting product to the base metal, based on that the rate of corrosion increases. So main is what type of metal you are choosing and what type of product it is forming. The next factor is anodic and cathodic areas. Anodic and cathodic areas are there are two different areas, right? We know the cells are formed by the combination of anode and cathode regions. So based on the areas, based on the size and portions and the regions, also corrosion occurs. Consider case 1. Okay, what is the case 1? In the case 1, the anodic area and the smaller the anodic area and larger the cathodic area. This is case 1. In case 1, anodic area is small, cathodic area is large. But in case of case 2, anodic area is large and cathodic area is small. So in both the cases, if the anodic area is less, that is small, faster is the corrosion. If anodic area is large, the rate of corrosion is less. But in both the cases, you can see corrosion. Corrosion happens in both the cases, whether it is a less anodic area or larger anodic area, but the rate of corrosion is small or increases or decreases, depends on what is the size of the anodic area and anodic area, whether it is smaller larger. We'll see here how we can explain. See, here is the iron metal. This is the iron metal, gray color one. Here there is a pinhole. Here there is a pinhole. Can you see a pinhole here? Orange one spotted on the pinhole on the left hand side. So this is the case 2. Case 2 is rate of corrosion decreases. Why it decreases? I'll tell you. So this is the pinhole. In a case 2, where there is a hole, maximum hole is present. Here there is a cathode area where there is a hole is here. You can see clearly the hole is present. This acts as an anode because you can see larger vacuum, because larger aeration or larger it is directly interacting with the oxygen. Hence anode area is large and electrode potential is less here. And the left other portions acts as a cathode. This means it has a larger anodic area. The same here. This is a pinhole. It is a star mark. And in case of this, here the smaller, it is not like a hole. Here it is like a pit, like a dig. They have digged the surface and it has formed a hole. Here they have just the smaller means they have just inserted the into the iron. It is not, they have not broken the metal piece. It is just inserted, just like a hole, smaller the anodic area. So here it is a tin type. Here it is a only a pin type. It is a small portion. They have pin to the iron rod. So this iron has lesser, smaller means smaller anodic area. Where this smaller anodic area, because of smaller anodic area, the interaction between this region and to the atmospheric oxygen is less. So compared to this case 1 and case 2, where there is larger anodic area, where there is larger anode, as the anode area is more and more, the size of anode area increases, the rate of corrosion decreases, the rate of corrosion decreases. Whereas if there is a small pin or a small gap, it interaction is more and it morely reacting with the atmospheric oxygen and the rate of corrosion increases. It will be very fast in case of anodic regions. But corrosion happens in both the cases, in both case 1 and also case 2. This is based on anodic and cathodic areas. And these two factors are very important. How they will ask the factors affecting the corrosion. Explain the following factors affecting the corrosion, like that. Each factor will be asked for 2 marks. Clear? So the remaining factors we'll see in the next class. This is we have in the medium is there. We have corrosion medium. Temperature is there. Humidity is there, and medium also is there. This we will see in the next class. So understood? Assignment, those who did not submit the assignment. 1 second, I'll take the attendance. It is not going back.